What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Crypto Vision here coming at you with your daily crypto updates. Had a little bit of a shakeout today, so we're going to go ahead and look at XLM, Chainlink, go over Bitcoin dominance, and kind of see what the market is doing today. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like, smash that subscribe button, and leave a comment where you're tuning in from, all right? So, as I said, and as you've felt, right? I mean, it was kind of a crazy day, crazy day so far with that, but CPI data coming in a little bit hot, right? But just gives market makers a reason to shake us out, right? So, as I said before, we could retrace if we didn't close above this 618 yesterday, right? We can come back down to that 382, 382 level. So we kind of wick down below it, sitting right above it. Um, and yeah, so a lot of people are shaking in the boots right now, but not us because we got diamond hands, baby. So let's stay on the daily actually. Let's look at everything. So yeah, so we kind of closed right below that 618 yesterday, above this mini bull flag falling wedge pattern, and then boom, punch right back down below, right? So now we're back testing this range again. So let's just go ahead and get a close above 42.4. Let's get a close above 42.4, and I like our chances to keep moving above the 382. We're looking fine. Just you know, traditional shakeout before the pump, right? So we do have a red dot right here on the daily on the Fu Manchu. It is typical that if you do get a red dot right up here, you do see somewhat of a drawback, right? So we had that red dot. Let's get something that's a little bit more. So something like up here, right? Red dot up here, little drawback, and then we get a pump, right? But here's the difference, right? Look at this RSI, right? Where's this red dot? Like through here, right? Look at this RSI. This RSI level was at 43, right? So we have a higher RSI, higher price, and we're still, right? This line is from yesterday. We're still testing this level, right? So if we go down on the 4-hour, right? So let's see this price action. So we've come down, wick down below. We're sitting right above that 382. We do have that red dot, but it is just absolutely sold off. So this is good, right? Big sell off with not a lot of sell off on price. All right, let's get a little. We've gone down 10%, right? We've gone down 10%, cooled way the heck off on our RSI. Okay, we do still have a higher high, all right? Still have a higher high. Something like if I were to move that, right? Still have a higher high, right? So we're going to keep that right here, though, just for reference. We want to make sure that we get back above there, right? So where could we find some kind of support to bounce? To make a higher low. Somewhere actually like right where we're at, if I'm being honest. So let's see what we do. We'll check in tomorrow and see how we do on this, right? We've done that there, done that there, done that there. I can go a little bit lower right there. Right. So, all right. So we want to bounce off red. We want to break through green. Bounce off red, break through green. In terms of any kind of correction, we have broken through all of this structure, right? We've broken through this uptrend, right? We've broken through that uptrend. We've broken down below our breakout zone, right? We don't want to see this as resistance, right? We want to come down, maybe consolidate for a little bit, and then come back up, right? So I'm going to go ahead and leave these trend lines and see what we do tomorrow. But overall, you're still at a higher low. You're still at a higher low, right? Higher low, right? We were down here, higher low. Even if you come down to that 39-cent level, we're still at a higher low. You get a double bottom, right? You come down here, Okay. Um, I mean, if you really did come all the way down, that would be fine. So, if we're looking at the 3 day has a red dot, right? So yeah, so this is a bit of a shakeout. So if I was holding XLM and looking to get out of a short or a long trade, I would have my stop loss at 39 cents. 39 cents. If we drop below 39 cents, we could drop a little bit lower than that. Let's see how low we could drop essentially. Right. Where are we right here? Get down to the 886 at 37 cent mark. Worst case scenario is the 32.8 cent mark, in my opinion. You'd still have a high or low, right? You come up right here, come back down, back test, and go. So we're still looking good. Structure is still good. I mean, it looks beautiful. Let's be honest, it looks absolutely beautiful. So let's actually get all this cleared out. All this cleared out. Let's look at our EMAs, right? Let's look at our EMAs. Oh, I didn't even realize this, right? So what is this close? 2 days? It still has 2 days to close, right? So we can get this little shakeout and then pump. Stay above this green. Stay above this green. Get back above this trend line. We're right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not something to be afraid of. Okay, we are so close, so close. We're above all EMAs, right? If we do come down and test the 20, that's at that 39 cent. But if we test that 50, that 32 cent mark, like I was 32.8, whatever, 33 cent mark, um, and so on. So we're still above all the EMAs. We're still looking fine. Let's see on the weekly. What are we doing on the weekly? Oh, yeah, we're looking fine on the weekly. Looking fine. We're fine. Everything is good. So a little bit of a shakeout. What's to be expected with crypto, right? I mean, at this point, if you're not used to this, you just got in. Just at this point, turn it off. Turn off all your apps. Let it sit for a day. Set your stop losses if you're comfortable, um, and just get through this, right? So the daily for the 50 is at that 38 cents. So 37, 30 to 39 cents could be the next stopping zone if we close. Um, if we close below this on the daily, so we're looking to get back above um, this little trend line right here. So that would be beautiful if we could get above that. We have 3 hours and 30 minutes left in this candle. We're pushing down. Let's go ahead and bounce back off. Maybe have like a double bottom, right? Come back down to 40.8 cents. I'd be looking to buy there if we have some kind of strong bounce. So, all right, that's XLM, Chainlink. Dang, like I said yesterday, right? We were ripping and riding. We were up at that 1618. Let's go to the daily. All right, 1618. I said we could come down to that 1272 to that one level, just to consolidate in this zone, right? So we are still below the 1414, right? Nice little draw on liquidity. We could see we really could see a push down to, um, that 886 level, like I was saying the other day. Worst case scenario, right? That $19 range. So just be patient if you're looking to get in. Be patient if you're in and you're looking to sell. Right now is not a good time to sell. We're still above every EMA, right? So we're bullish, right? We're bullish. We're consolidating between the 1618 and the 1272, like we talked about the other day, right? We're still above this line of resistance that we've been at for a while, right? This downtrend, okay? We're above the overall 618, okay? We're still looking good, okay? Um, what was the RSI, right? This doesn't look that great. This kind of looks like a double top kind of look, right? That M look. We like W's over here. So that's not the greatest look, if I'm being honest. We could drop back. We could drop down a little bit more, right, to this moving average. That's a terrible, terrible. another 10% on the RSI drop, that could take us down 10%. So is that $2, something like that? Take us down to $20, bounce off the one, and then go get the 2272 to the 2618. Let's see the 4 hour, right? 4 hour. We are below on this 4 hour. We still have 3 hours and 25 minutes left, right? Punching down below. But again, right, we have, it does look like A, B, C. So we could be in this little mini correction, right? Everything's been running like crazy. So this is kind of expected. I was talking about it yesterday. Wait for a pullback to buy, right? This is technically a pullback where you could have been buying at 21, buy at 21, buy again at 20, buy again at 19, and let it ride. Let it ride, baby. So we're still above the EMAs. Fib levels look great. RSI is cooling off, right? You got that bigger A, B, C, right? So we do have, right, a lower low in RSI with a higher low in price. That's bullish divergence. So that's good. That's good. So we're still above where we were down here, right? We're still at a higher price and the RSI is lower. So we can go higher. That's good. That's positive. All right, what if we get back up? Because we do need to take out this high in the 4 hour like I was talking about. So just to get even, that's a 74%. Remember we were talking about the one-to-one move ratios? 74%. All right, this next move, I'm telling you, we're closer than many think, right? 74%, right? Almost to that trend line, ladies and gentlemen. That's 82%. 74% was just to the level we had prior, right? So if we want a higher high in the RSI, we need to get above that level, 86.68, right? So everything looks great. We're still above the weekly, right? I can get rid of this. Let me just get rid of that. We're still above the weekly RSI. If we come back and backtest, that is still fine. That's showing strength, actually. When you come back and backtest and then send from there, that's like a trampoline, right? Just getting ready to go to the next dimension. So we're looking fine on that. We're looking fine on Chainlink. I think this is a healthy pullback, right? We've gone up from August 4th, or July 7th, I'm sorry. Let's just do from August 4th. August 4th, we went up 54%, right? You're going to have a pullback. And we've pulled back 8%, 9%. So don't get shaken out. I could see us bouncing at this 1272, this 69197, that 21 to $21.50 range. We're still looking fine. We're still looking great. Bitcoin, right? Big ugly candle. Look at that thing. That does not look pretty, if I'm being honest. That looks like another slam down, right? Another slam down. It's not, doesn't look great, if I'm being honest. This also looked like that, right? This candle right here. This candle right here slammed down. We closed, and then we went on a run for 17%. So that's what Bitcoin likes to do. Bitcoin likes to slam down, right? We slammed down. We came down all the way down to here, 8%, and then we went up 11%. So an overall 3% move. So if we're looking at the EMAs on Bitcoin, we're still above every weekly EMA. It's healthy. Very healthy. Nothing to stress about. If you even see this area of breakout, we still have higher lows, right? Higher highs, and we're still above this breakout zone. So nothing to be afraid of. Surprisingly, we don't have a red dot on the Fu Manchu, which is interesting actually. But still, you can see this, right? We're in a zone where we went up for what, 12 days in a row. We're gonna have red days, right? We're gonna have red days just to cool off, get out over leveraged positions. like we talked about yesterday, this 60 level was kind of the line in the sand. Remember me talking about, get above and then use this as support? Yeah, we're not doing that right now. So even on the daily, right? Daily, same thing. We're oscillating, right? We're oscillating. Let's close above the average. Let's not get below the moving average, right? Because then you have a possibility of, coming down, you come down, and then you come up, and then boom, you shoot back down, right? You shoot back down. So that's not what we want. We don't want to get below the moving average. We want to stay above the moving average and get moving, right? There's still no red dot on the daily. We've cooled off on the RSI. I still think we're looking great. Where are we on the EMAs? We're right at that. I mean, look at this. If you're bearish right now, if you're scared, if you're worried, don't be. Don't be. Market makers are just trying to shake you out. Look at that. We touched the 20-day EMA. We didn't. I mean, this is structurally beautiful. You're coming up, you're bouncing, you're bouncing, you're bouncing, you get up, you bounce, you're back testing again, right? Same thing here. This is what you did. You came out, back test, boom. Oh no, we're going to zero. Nope, just joking. Bounce, 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 go. Right? You want to be bouncing on the 20 EMA, especially with Bitcoin. Bitcoin loves to bounce on the 20 EMA. Right? You're below the 20 EMA, that's not good, right? We're down, we're down, we're down, we're down, we're down. We get up. What did we do? We back tested. Right? We back tested. So it's just a correction, right? Normal correction, back testing, cooling off, getting out leveraged longs, and actually building up shorts. We want to build up shorts. We want shorts to pile in and say, ha ha ha, we're never getting above this, ha ha ha. When in reality, we just made an all-time high. We just had the highest closing day in Bitcoin's history. So we're looking fine. Overall, look at this overall fib level from that April low to the previous high, right? Previous high, April low. We've come up to the one, come back down right to that 69197. I love that fib level, right? And come up and have broken out above the one, hit that 1272, right? Just above it. And we're just consolidating. We're just in a range, right? We're in a range, 1272 from 121 to 109. So if we're below 120, target 109, right? Worst case scenario, you're targeting 105. That would be a pretty deep pullback. That would scare out a lot of people. But where do we find any kind of 10% pullback, right? 10% pullback, and you're still above the 200 EMA. So you're still healthy. So Bitcoin's looking fine. Let's see on the 4-hour if we have anything. Well, this is actually nice. I love how much we've sold off on the RSI, and it's only a 10% cool off, right? We've gone down 50% on the RSI, right? Huge cool off on the RSI, which how much of a price? We already did it, so it's kind of being redundant. But 5% since here, so we'll go from here. 5%, right? 5% cool off, 47% on the RSI. Fu Manchu has cooled off all the way back down. All right, so we have, like I said, we have what are we at right now? We'll do this one closed at 118. Closed at 118.582, 118.297. So we do have a lower low, right? A lower low right here relative to RSI level, right? By $100, and the RSI level is 22% lower. So we're cooling off. We're getting ready for the next huge move. Let me go ahead and see a red zone where we can bounce and check on that tomorrow. Something like that, horizontal line. Yeah, I like that. I see more over here. See right here. Right there, right there. There we go. So let's see if we come down, touch that and bounce, and then rip and run, right? Rip and run. That's what we like to do. Let's put this fib level back up. All right. Fib level is back up. Came just above that 1, coming back down. I mean, look at this. Come right down to that 0.5, touched it. Typically, when you go past up to the 1 and you do pull back, you're gonna go to the 0.5 or even to the 382, because theoretically you still will have a higher low, right? You're still building a higher low, right? So this is good. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So let's go ahead, stay above this, and then fight back above this 618. So we're going to be in this range with this 618. So let's get back above 118, and really that 120. So this is kind of the zone I'm thinking, 117 to 120. Okay, so if you're looking to trade, we could be in this zone, kind of oscillating back and forth, using this trend line, right? We can come down, test this trend line, come back up. We're not even close to the trend line yet. So let's see how far off we are. Another 1% off. So we are kind of close, if I'm being honest. So, but overall, you're trying to get to that 1618, that 130 to that 134 range. We have gone past the 1272 at this percentage level multiple times. That's why this green line is here. So 128 could be that level. So, but it's looking fine. Bitcoin's looking great. And last but not least, let's do some Bitcoin dominance. And on the daily, what are we looking like on the daily? I mean, you're still red on the daily, right? Bitcoin dominance is still going down. So altcoins, alts are showing strength against Bitcoin, which is great. Great, great, great. So let's do a mini one. There we go. So this is just the mini fib level again for the downward movement. We're sitting right at that 1618 on this mini fib. All right, we've come down to the 1. It's kind of the opposite of what this is, almost like Chainlink. So you've kind of come up to that 1272, 1618, right? You've bounced back down to that 1272, and now you've gone to that back to that 1618, just consolidating. So this, I mean, if we're looking at this, I mean, this looks like we want to keep going. I mean, tell me not. This looks beautiful, right? You have that bull flag, the descending wedge. You break out, right? Back test this higher low structure, and I mean, it looks good. We could really come down to 61% and still be fine. So don't worry. We are just doing your traditional crypto market shakeout. So we're below all the EMAs, right? Below every single EMA. We're not even getting close to touching the 20, let alone the 50. Let's see the RSI levels. RSI levels, we rejected that moving average, and we're still below the moving average. So I'd say Bitcoin dominance is still showing tons of weakness, right? Tons of weakness. So if we can zoom in here, broke through. Look at that wick right there. Touch that 20, get pushed all the way down. This thing wants to go to 0. No, I'm just playing, but it does. This thing wants to go down to that 58 level, right? We're right up here. Let's see tomorrow. Let's see if we reject off this area. I want to see us rejecting off of this right here. That would be incredible. So let's reject off of that. Let's see where we're gonna go from here. There is a green dot on the Fu Manchu, but like I said previously, when you're down here with these waves down here and you get green dots, it's not prevalent, it's not relevant unless you get above, right? You see how we're right here, green dot, whatever. We actually got above. We start making moves above. See that green dot right here? What do we do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Rejected. So if this wave can't get above the 0 line, don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat it. So overall, I think we're just experiencing your traditional pullback. Bitcoin went up to the highest close it's ever had yesterday. Other altcoins were running. XLM got up to 47 cents. Chainlink got up to $24. We're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it, ladies and gentlemen. stay tuned for part two. I'm going to be going over Jasmine, going to be going over some DGen, going to be going over our total 2, total 3, and then some USDT plus USDC, and just taking a look where we're at with that. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like the video, subscribe, drop a comment where you're watching from. Appreciate it. Peace.